My name's Jerry Thomas, and I have the privilege of leading the Global Equity team at Sarasin Partners. What we're going to do in our presentations today is talk you through a real-world example of our investment process in action. But before I do that, I'd like to remind you of how we think about investing your money. And we do that using our investment philosophy, which has 3 pillars. The first pillar of our investment philosophy is a thematic approach to understanding where the world is going over the long run and what sort of companies can benefit from those themes. The second is stewardship. For us, that is ESG, environmental, social, and governance analysis, embedded within our analysis of companies. But it's more than that. It's also about our engagement with those companies. It's about having an ownership mindset and about understanding public policy and seeking to influence that policy through our policy outreach work. And the third pillar is about building active portfolios. Portfolios significantly differentiated from a broad global index, but portfolios that are also active in the sense that they are invested for the long run and where turnover is low. So much for our investment philosophy. When you think about us as investors, I'm sure you think about how do we manage your money and you think about performance. What I actually think about day in, day out is our people, the people on my team, and also the actual process by which we go about picking our companies. And I'd like to talk you through, first of all, the team. The team, as you can see from the slide, is well-resourced, it's experienced, and we've got an unusual way of organising that team. We organise the team around our 5 mega themes. We team people up together with slightly different perspectives or views of their industries that they've known throughout their career, and we think about those themes in a different way. Furthermore, we have our ESG analysis embedded within the team. All of us are responsible for analysing stocks, but also the ESG aspects of those companies. But we do have stewardship experts. Those of you that have been to Spring Seminars in the past or have seen Natasha Landau-Mills at meetings will know how much she leads the line for us on our stewardship work, supported by colleagues. Furthermore, we also embed within the team quantitative analysts who help use data for us to really understand what we're doing within portfolios, what the opportunities and what the risks are. Moving on then to our investment process, where we have a 3-step investment process. The first step of our process brings us back to our themes, and we use our themes for idea generation. If you invest in a broad global index of the MSCI All Countries World Index, for example, you'll have over 3,000 companies in that index. Many of those companies to us are not thematic, and we seek to use our themes to find the companies that really are interesting, the ones that are going to drive and lead growth in the decades ahead. And by going through that process of understanding those themes and building out sub-themes, finding niche industries where the really value accretive companies exist, we can narrow that universe down to about 600. And that's our investment universe. From that investment universe, we begin our process of stock selection, finding from those 600 not just interesting companies, but companies that are genuinely good investments. And we build a global buy list of 100 companies, fundamental analysis, team-based, integrating our ESG analysis as we go. And once we have those 100 companies, those really are the opportunity available to your portfolio managers. The portfolio managers do the portfolio construction, again working in a team of 2 or 3 people. What they're looking to do is to think first of all about what they're trying to achieve for you within that specific portfolio or mandate, and then build a diversified portfolio spread across our themes, but also where the conviction is strongest to make sure that that portfolio works to achieve its objective. And that portfolio is typically 40 companies. So that's the investment process in summary. What we wanted to do through these presentations, though, is bring to life the process by which a stock goes from a mega theme down to the global buy list. This is what we call, euphemistically on the team, the snake. And this is the journey that every company we invest in your portfolios will follow. And it's a detailed, rigorous process whereby a company can take something like 3 to 6 months from the moment it enters our theme universe to actually getting onto our buy list. And we'll talk that through with you in subsequent presentations so you can see an example. But let's just come back one step to the mega themes, exactly what they are and how we use them. We have 5 mega themes. These are long-running themes designed to last out over 20 or 30 years. And they're organizing themes that help guide us as to where we think the world is going. Those 5 themes are digitalization is the first. Digitalization really is that shift that the global economy has been enjoying for the last 30, 40, 50 years from analog to digital. And we think it's far from done yet, and it creates enormous amounts of opportunities. The next is automation. This is more about physical things typically, where the fall in processing power, the sophistication of software, the drop in the cost of robotics is allowing that automation, the things that would have been done by people to be done by machines at an ever greater rate, particularly as the size of the workforce begins to shrink as the world gets older, but equally becomes more costly. And automation is a solution. And in fact, it's going beyond the physical world into things like knowledge-based sectors such as law or even finance. The third mega theme is evolving consumption. This is more than just the bottom billions, the people who are finally getting wealthier and moving into becoming in the middle class consuming. It talks about Gen Z or millennials who consume differently to perhaps those of us when we were that age did. The power of the smartphone in your pocket, the impact of e-commerce, the desire for a healthy lifestyle which involves travel and experiences more perhaps than physical goods. The fourth is aging. The proportion of the world that is going to be over 65 is going to rise dramatically in coming years. By 2034, the proportion of the US population that's over 65 will outweigh the number that are under 18. So it's a dramatic shift happening in the Western world. And that has consequences for health. It has consequences for saving for your own retirement. And the final one is climate change, which we see as an enormous force affecting all companies around the world and the need to mitigate and adapt to that changing climate. Each of those mega themes has a series of sub-themes. This is where we really do the work and find the ideas. These are the parts of that mega theme which are really driving change, where the opportunity is, where the disruption is, where the great companies are and the niche industries are. And we identify those, and each of those sub-themes brings up companies that forms that investment universe. In subsequent presentations today, we wanted to dial down on one particular climate change theme, and that is low-carbon transport. And this is an area where I'd encourage you to watch subsequent presentations to see how we pick stocks within that low-carbon transport segment. Thank you.